What's up, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we keep it real with all things black and gold. Before we dive into today's loaded update, with major developments on TJ Watt's contract situation and a surprising comment from Keenan Allen about the Steelers, let me just say this. This team is doing everything it can to improve. The front office is working overtime. The coaching staff is laying the foundation. And the players are grinding to make sure this team stays competitive in the AFC. But hey, sometimes tough conversations have to happen, and today's story is one of those. If you respect the hustle this franchise is putting in, and want to, stay in the loop on everything Steelers. Hit that like button to support the channel. Now let's break down what's really going on with TJ Watt, and why Keenan Allen might be out on Pittsburgh. Let's start with the face of the Steelers defense, TJ Watt. During Tuesday's edition of NFL Network's The Insiders, Mike Garafolo reported that things aren't tense between Watt and the team. That's good news on the surface. But dig a little deeper, and you'll see why fans should be a little concerned. Steelers insider Ray Fittipaldo joined 93.7, the Fan, on Wednesday and dropped a bit of a bombshell. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of momentum to get this done before training camp, Fittipaldo said. Never say never, but I think this is going to drag on for quite some time. Sound familiar? It should. This is exactly what happened back in 2021. Watt pulled off a hold-in during training camp, showing up but not participating in full drills until the team gave him a 4-year, $112 million extension with $80 million guaranteed. We could be headed down that same road again. The challenge this time? The market has exploded for edge rushers. Earlier this offseason, Myles Garrett signed a massive 4-year, $160 million deal with the Browns, featuring a whopping $123.5 million in guarantees. And guess what? That number is about to go even higher when Micah Parsons signs his new deal with the Cowboys, which is expected to eclipse Garrett's. So now the Steelers are caught in a tough spot. Do they pay Watt top-of-the-market money again at age 30? Or do they try to negotiate a more team-friendly deal while risking their defensive captain's frustration? And remember, if Watt skips all of minicamp through Thursday, the team could fine him over $104,000. But as Fittipaldo put it, $100,000 to a guy like TJ Watt is like fining you and me $50. So I don't think that's going to happen. In other words, the Steelers aren't looking to punish Watt, but they also aren't rushing to hand him a new deal either. Here's where things get a little more reassuring. According to CBS Sports insider Jonathan Jones, there's no chance Watt plays for another team by September. So don't panic just yet, Steelers Nation. But here's the catch. That doesn't guarantee he'll be happy, and it doesn't mean he'll be fully participating in training camp if his deal remains unresolved. The longer this drags on, the more it becomes a distraction, especially with Aaron Rodgers now in the building and the team aiming to build chemistry fast. Now let's flip over to the wide receiver drama, because oh boy, this one came out of left field. Streamer Jay Goofy posted a TikTok clip that's now making the rounds, showing him chatting with none other than Keenan Allen. When asked about playing with Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, Allen's response, let's just say, it wasn't enthusiastic. There's two sides to the story, Allen said. A-Rod being the quarterback? Of course that interests you. But Pittsburgh? No. Oof. He added a quick save with, but hey, you never know. But let's be honest, the vibe was clear. Keenan Allen does not seem eager to wear black and gold. And here's the kicker. The Steelers have been actively searching for a new weapon after trading George Pickens to Dallas. They've hosted Gabe Davis on a visit, engaged in trade talks for Jonnu Smith, and now they're linked with other veteran pass catchers. But with Allen, no buzz, no real contact, no official interest from the team's side. Let's look at the numbers, to be fair. Keenan Allen is a 6-time Pro Bowler with over 10,500 career yards and nearly 60 touchdowns. But in 2024, playing for the Bears, he finished with 744 yards, 7 touchdowns, over 15 games. Not terrible, but not WR1 numbers either, especially not at age 33. Now consider this. Allen and Rodgers both played at Cal, they've both been in the league over a decade, and there's clearly mutual respect. But if Allen's not interested in Pittsburgh despite Rodgers being there, that tells us something. First things first, this organization is clearly trying to improve every single day. You can feel it in the air. From trading George Pickens and bringing in DK Metcalf to exploring free agent deals for veterans like Gabe Davis and Jonnu Smith, it's clear the front office isn't afraid to make bold moves. But all of those moves take a back seat to the biggest storyline of the offseason. Aaron Rodgers finally putting pen to paper. After months of cryptic reports and complete silence from Rodgers, he showed up at OTAs with a fresh mindset and a surprising explanation for the delay. And no, it wasn't about money. It wasn't about drama. At least, not the kind we expected. So let's rewind for a second. On March 10th, the first reports surfaced. Rodgers had interest in Pittsburgh. Then, on March 21st, he surprised everyone by showing up at the Steelers facility. A week later, he did it again. 6 full hours in the building. That's when we thought the deal was imminent. But instead, radio silence. All of April. All of May. Not a word. Steelers fans were frustrated. Media was confused. It felt like classic Rodgers, a man who loves to keep people guessing. Finally, on June 5th, he signed a 1-year deal worth $13.65 million. A reasonable price, a strong commitment. And yet the question remained, why the heck did it take so long? That's exactly what Rich Eisen asked during his show after watching Rodgers hit the practice field. And to his credit, Eisen said Rodgers looked pretty damn spry. He saw the video, Rodgers working on his footwork, hanging out with DK Metcalf in a golf cart, laughing with coaches. But still, the mystery lingered. At OTAs, Rodgers finally gave a bit of an answer, and it wasn't what many were expecting. Was dealing with a lot of things in my personal life, Rodgers said. Some things needed to improve a little bit, where I felt like I could be fully all in here with the guys. He continued, I didn't want to shortchange the guys and sign, but be elsewhere, mentally or physically. Now that's a classy thing to say, but also vague. Was it about family, retirement, health? Some insiders floated the idea of a family health scare or even a secret marriage, but Rodgers didn't elaborate. Eisen didn't blame him for keeping it close to the chest, especially in this media environment where players get hammered for sharing too much. Just look at what's happened to Stephon Diggs this year. What's more interesting is that Rodgers might have been testing himself. After everything that happened with the Jets, the injuries, the media mess, the rumors of him wanting to skip OTAs to visit Egypt, Rodgers probably needed to know if he still had the fire. And that's fair. Eisen said it perfectly. The Jets are on their own island of dysfunction that the Steelers do not have the GPS coordinates for. Boom. That's the quote. Because Pittsburgh is different. This is an organization built on tradition, toughness, and leadership. And at the center of that leadership is Mike Tomlin. Rodgers confirmed what we all suspected. Tomlin was the key to this signing. A big attraction was Mike Tomlin, Rodgers said. The way that the conversations went between him and I between March and April, and the last Sunday that I called him, was some of the coolest conversations I've had in the game with a head coach. Just imagine those conversations. 2 football minds, 2 ultimate competitors, talking strategy, philosophy, maybe even life. It's easy to see why Rodgers said yes, because say what you want about his history, but he respects greatness. And Tomlin is exactly that. Rodgers is here. He's looking sharp. He's motivated. And he seems genuinely happy to be part of the Steelers' culture. Now, what's next? Well, the season won't be easy. The AFC is stacked, and expectations are going to be sky high. But if Rodgers can stay healthy and keep building chemistry with guys like DK Metcalf, Jaylen Warren, and a new-look offensive line, this team can absolutely make noise. The defense is already elite. The coaching is elite. And now the quarterback is elite, too. It's not a rebuild anymore, it's a run. Steelers Nation, here's where we're at. 1. TJ Watt's extension drama is just beginning. It's not hostile yet, but the front office is clearly taking a wait-and-see approach, just like they did in 2021. That worked out back then. But will it this time? Keenan Allen isn't rushing to join Pittsburgh, even with Rodgers under center. Whether that's a reflection of the team's current reputation, offensive scheme, or something else entirely, it's not a great look. The Steelers want to contend now. But these stories highlight just how delicate that balance is between managing contracts, building culture, and stacking talent. Now I want to hear from you. Should the Steelers lock up TJ Watt ASAP, even if it means resetting the edge rusher, market again? Do you think Watt would really hold out if a deal isn't done by July? And as for Keenan Allen, would you want to see him in black and gold? Or is he past his prime? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be going through every one of them. If you're riding with TJ Watt through and through, smash that like button. And of course, hit subscribe so you never miss a single Steelers scoop, rumor, or insider update. Thanks for hanging with us today, and as always, here we go, Steelers!